Hey everybody, it's James with Rowe-Thrush. Welcome to the next live stream interview. Today we will be interviewing Karen with New Set Lock. Want to also ask that anybody that's on here now watching, please add in a comment about where you're from and what vertical segment that you call on. So a little housekeeping before we get Karen on. First, who is Rowe-Thrush? We're a manufacturer rep agency that represents just over 60 suppliers into Grainger, ranging from lighting and electrical, material handling, hand tools, pneumatics, safety and security, plumbing, and heating and air conditioning. We also have many great resources available for the Grainger sales force, such as segment specific line cards. We jump on district team calls all the time. I was actually on one just earlier today. As well as we created a Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site specifically for the Grainger Salesforce that has many great features to it, such as our entire library of Graingerized literature, all available for an account manager to view and download, as well as Rowe-Thrush videos. And with that, I'd like to welcome Karen. Hello, Karen.
Having me here today.
Yes, thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Very good.
Good to hear. So before we get into the main portion of the interview, tell me a little bit about yourself and NewSet. How did you come to run the family business?
So NewSet is actually a third generation lock manufacturing company. So we manufacture different type of locks, hardware that you will need for commercial and residential. So it started with my grandparents in China, and then we also have a division in Hong Kong. And in 1993, the whole family migrated to the United States, and that's when my parents established NewSet. I got drafted into the family business when I graduated from college, and originally started on customer service, translating documents, to working in the floor, packing products, and I did do manufacturing in Asia for a bit of time, learning about sourcing, and then come back here, and a few years ago took the leadership role for our company.
Wow, that's great. Sounds like you've been in every aspect of the company, so you know how all the internal workings of NewSet Lock. That's amazing. So has NewSet changed at all since you took over?
Oh yes. So a few things that since I took part of a leadership role and become a CEO. Number one is to change our manufacturing site from kind of bulky production to lean production. So you can see that a lot of NewSet product, they may look the same on the outside, but internally is different. I like to think about like a car and chassis. So there you go. That's my grandparents and my parents. Also my team. We're just doing a random check before the product gets shipped out. Second of all is I started with the electronic divisions. I really do hammer on it because that's how I see our world is changing to the 21st century. Keys are still part of, key to lock is still part of an important element in our security world, but we are changing into something more, and I like to be ahead of the game. And last is to digitize, because in the past, everything is on paper. Now everything has to change to digitalize, from our manufacturing floor to our picking floor to our customer service. So now that was a lot of work.
Wow, well, that's great to hear, especially that you're thinking to the future. You're forward thinking with everything, and as far as how the industry is changing when it comes to security. That's excellent. So before we get into some of the main questions, one last one for you here, just getting to know you a little bit more as a person. What is your favorite movie and why?
My favorite movie all time depends when you ask me, but this week is The Book of Life. I love that movie. I just recently watched it with my kids again. It's a great reminder of what love is, family, duties, and all that whole piece. I just love it.
Yeah, no, that's a great movie. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I know my kids have watched it a bunch of times. It's funny how kids can watch the same movie over and over and over and over again, and it's still like as amazing as it was the first time. But us adults, it's like, let's give it a couple months, maybe a year before we watch it again.
Right. Yep.
So awesome. And I've actually, I don't think I've ever watched that movie all the way from start to finish. So I'm actually adding that to my list, and I will watch that maybe over the weekend with my kids. So
The song
so
is amazing, by the way.
the song, yeah, the main song of the movie.
They have a few. I don't
Oh,
want to spoil you, so go watch.
I will. I know I'll send you an email or give you a call later about my thoughts on it.
Okay.
So with that though, when it comes to Newset and the products that you make,
hmm
tell us a little bit about those products and what segments within Grainger that your products could work with.
So actually, Newset, in the back ends, we manufacture over 3,000 different type of SKUs. So we down from different type of screws that goes into the lock to the parts that goes into a lock to a lock boxes, which is one of the most popular items that we have with Grainger that you can see on the slide. With that is the range of products. So the segment that we actually service is quite wide. So I divided into mainly in commercial side, MRO, which is the facility is one of our biggest area, manufacturing plant, trucking industry, government. Because we are a minority and women-owned business, there's always a set-aside budget for our type of business. Of course, our quality is there, and that's why we do have some indirect sales there. Military security is one of the big issue. You still needed to key to lock things up. Educations are especially the storage area, the gyms, the sport field where they keep the equipment. That most of the time you can see that, as well as just a simple locker, padlock that students use for every day. Property management is one of the most popular places for our lockboxes, for commercial, residentials, or even vacational rental is a very popular item. Hospitality, that's kind of go into a little bit about those rental properties. Multifamily units, because we do customize locks for multifamily unit management. So say like you have a 200 doors unit, you need to secure them, but each of them need to have a separate keys, and that is our specialty.
Excellent. Yeah, and my wife actually used to be in real estate, and so I'm very familiar with these lock boxes for real estate applications. But I remember when we first started working with you years and years and years ago, I had no idea that there were so many additional applications that you could use these types of products. So thank you very much for going through that. I'm sure that will be helpful for our viewers. Now, also for our viewers, can you help us out with explaining a little bit about some of the customer business issues or CBIs that your products can help solve?
Number one is because we are in a product industry, so we have our product in stock. Because the worst thing is you try to service your customer need and you don't have it in stock. So that's one of our advantages. We have all the different parts locally in Los Angeles. So, within a day or two, or depending on our lead time and the order size, we usually can get it out within a week. Second of all is cost saving, because we're flexible in our manufacturing and assembly. So a lot of the saving, we pass it back to our customers, as well as, for our customer end user, is the saving in manpower management, because Salem, all of our lock boxes can easily be a transition between two different shifts of staff coming into work. That's one of the most popular use of our product. And also, safety. I mean, we have been around for 40 years just making locks. Unlike there's other company that newly joined, they kind of don't understand the essence of a lock. Locks do have to provide security in many ways. Last thing is sustainability. So it's kind of hard to think about locks. How did that sustain? Number one, our products, I mean, most of them last for a long time, so 10 to 15 years easily. And then the plastic part, we actually use recycled material because now we are using a lot more weatherproof material on our boxes because, you know, quite frankly, not everyone is in Los Angeles. We have weather challenges with rain, snow, salt water. Those are the very challenging element towards locks.
Yeah, well, that's great to point out that these are ruggedized, they're weatherproof, weather resistant. They're able to withstand cold environments, wet environments. So great, great points there. So can you tell me a little bit about your legacy lockbox line and what makes them different from other lockbox manufacturers?
So I can show you. On the screen as well, you can see our lockboxes has evolved. There are also another, I would say, 8 years before the first series that comes on. Totally, we have 22 different patents and trademark on our lock product. Just because we listen to our customers, this is all based on customers' feedback when we improve our products. So starting from the left side, you can see our 2020 series, which is our original model that we have a patent on. The shackle is locked, so meaning that it's not easily removed. And if you notice all of our lock boxes, the lids can be removed. Part of it is because just in case someone damage it, you can always replace the lid only. So it's another cost saving for the customer. And all of our lock box has a feature that prevent people from piling. You know how one of the biggest concern from our end user is someone can use a flat screwdriver, try to open it. All the new set box has a reinforced lip, I call it. Our lock language is like a lip at the top to prevent people from doing it. So that has been very successful. So moving on to from the left to the right, you can see the 2050 series, which is a wall-mounted one. That is a very popular item for trucks and also for customer with firearms. They actually, I have a fun customer feedback is someone used a firearm to fire through the lock boxes. They drew a hole, but they couldn't open the box. So that was a great testimony. And I mean, we gained lifelong customers like that because of the quality that we have. So what I'm holding is one of the most popular item, which is 2080 series lock boxes. We have multiple patents on this product. Again, like I said, you know, the outside have a plastic lid to protect it against element. Snow, rain, they all get kept outside. And when you open, we are the only lockbox in the world that has this pattern. You can see there's no lever. It's all clean here. Part of it is to help our mobility challenge customers with disability or ladies with beautiful nails or people with no nails. They can just push and press here and open the lock boxes. That is one of the proudest product that I love to share and talk about. And Grainger actually one of the most popular items that we have with it because it's just so versatile. People, I've seen it using on gates, and also we also have a wall-mounted version for facility and also trucks. So these are our legacy mechanical lockbox usage history, so to speak.
That's excellent. And it's great to see that you don't only have the one style, you have the shackle style, but also wall mount options available too. So if somebody likes that specific style, they have a different option if needed. Would like to also point out that all of these products featured here do have Grainger SKUs except for the 2040 series, which you would have to go through sourcing for. So That's also great to hear the firearm story. It'd be great if you had a photo of that lockbox with the bullet and everything and the indentation that it made. That would be excellent, because that says a lot about how durable and strong and secure your products really are. So in my notes here, I see that you wanted me to also talk about electronic lock products. So what made you begin to think that you should start getting into the world of electronic lock boxes?
Because our world is getting, some people call it flat, some people call it applied, it's just getting faster, so to speak. And we hear from our customers that, they sometimes, some of the managers, they need to manage multiple buildings or units or divisions, so they cannot be at multiple locations at the same time. So the electronic lockbox kind of like a virtual or an outside help for them to manage the security for those places. That is the original idea. And then, when it comes to mechanical lockboxes or very simple push button type of product, they can have only a very small pool of user preset to use the lock. But with our basic model electronic lockboxes that looks like this, we can actually preset over 200 user. And we also have features that, a one-time code for emergency access. That's something additional value added to our customers. So it's not just a simple box, but it actually can do an access control for them, provide emergency access. So those are just some of the feedback we've got from our customer. But after all, everything now we're changing, not just using a key to open the door. So we needed to move ahead and listen to our customers so we can change at the same time.
Wow, that's great. So is there any other additional features that make your smart boxes different from the competition?
Yeah, number one is I'm holding one. Again, it has all the feature of a new set box. It's durable, even more heavy duty. It's a flush surface, so again, it's hard for people to pry it open. The other feature that is for our lockbox is hack-free. Why I call it hack-free is because it's not on the internet, so people cannot just hack the information out of it. So that's why I call this our basic hack-free electronic lockbox. We also have a 200 user preset and unlimited amount of emergency one-time access code for our lockboxes. It just these are all the feedback we got from our customer, what they need in the field. So we have customers, in remote area of a power plant where they only have a gated area, or a remote area in just not normally they have someone to monitor. So that's a very popular product, and it's also one of the popular Grainger product as well.
Great. That's excellent to hear. So we have a couple more questions, one more question to ask. So anybody watching, please get in your questions that you have for our live Q&A at the end. So next question is, you guys are a woman-owned, minority-owned business, as you mentioned. What kind of advice do you have for other minority or women-owned entrepreneurs? And can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. So NewSet is actually the only women-owned lock manufacturer and direct distribution security solution company in the United States. We're also the only minority-owned. So, yeah. So I'm very glad to be in that position. Number one is your product has to be good product, and I'm proud to say it's my family business. Our product quality is the best because I use all my product in my house. Number two is women-owned and minority-owned has set aside with a lot of corporations. So, for example, Disney, Toyota, those are the customers that also buy, sometimes source through or, buy through from Grainger to us, as well as government agency, federal government, local government, they all have set aside budget for locks. So sometimes even we have over 100 products with Grainger. If there is a product that may not be listed, kind of because we have such a wide demand in locks, you can go through the sourcing part. And because that money does count towards the minority spends, and diversity and inclusion is one of the most important things for a lot of these corporation and government agency.
Yeah, great points there. The government does have dollars set aside for women-owned, minority-owned businesses. I heard you mention Disney and Toyota. I'm pretty sure Grainger has national accounts with those two companies. So
they do.
If you are a national account manager or an account manager that handles those, you might want to talk to your customers about Newset. So. With that, I'm looking to see if anybody has any questions. So open it up to our live Q&A now. So I see a question in here. This is a good one, and I know a little bit about it, and that is, what new products do you have coming soon?
Great. That's actually a great question. I'm excited about that. So part of the growth of Newset is from not just only making a lock, but actually providing a security solution, because now everyone has their own security preferences. And that's how we develop a new software called Icon security software. So the first product we implement is in our electronic lockbox series. What it does is a few things. Again, we have a patented security feature in it. One is using a picture from your mobile phone as a key to unlock the security. So what it does is it doesn't require our customer to upload the biometric information. Quite frankly, not all of us are James Bond. We don't have a queue in our back room. You can't change your eyeball and you can't change your fingerprint. So that's why one of the reasons, and because a lot of corporations are having more strict privacy issue with the employees. So that's one of the reasons Icon is not using biometric information. That is very beneficial, especially for our customer in the United States as well as in Europe as well. Second is the basic function of Icon does not require any of the corporate customer to download an app, because we have heard from corporations that they had a lot of issue when they have to ask their staff to download a certain app or whatever. So that's one of the reasons we developed the basic model of Icon does not use an app. And Icon is actually the only IoT solution lock in the world. So meaning that you can actually hook up your monitor to our lockbox and you can start shopping on Amazon, or Zoro, or clothing company, whatever you do. So that's one of the features. All this is just accumulated tribal knowledge from how we manufacture locks to our customer feedbacks, and talking to James, and from some of you sometimes have feedback on us. That's how we improve our locks.
That's amazing. A lot of great features with that Icon product. And that's actually something that we're currently in discussions with Grainger corporate as far as adding into the Grainger offering. We'll still see, how that comes along. But if anything, you can always go through Grainger sourcing for it. And you mentioned James Bond. And, I always ask the question about favorite movies because I love movies and I grew up watching all of the James Bond movies. I still watch all the new ones with Daniel Craig, and I always loved the scenes in the beginning or middle part of the movie, where they have the interaction with Q and all the gadgets that James would get to play with.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions? Looks like we have one more here. Any new advancements in lockbox technology, or what types of? Yeah, I'm reading that right. What new advancements in lockbox?
So lockbox is a very flexible product. Say like unlike an electronic locks, you have to do a lot of measurement to your doors. You have to adjust a lot of things and bring tools. A lockbox, an electronic one, you can just hang it anytime where you wanted it to provide instant access. Because right now is in the past when we were little, our mom and dad tell us like, do not open the door to a stranger. Now you want to open to stranger, but you want to open it to the ones that you want them to come in. So that is a very different change of dynamic. So Newset is basically is ahead of the game, is to partner with that trend. How can we help our customer, to keep the place secure at the same time is cost effective? Because you always can have somebody live there 24/7, but is that cost effective? So that's one of the ways. And then also we're developing a multi-level enterprise security solution based on the icon. So say like if I'm in Hawaii having a vacation and James, you need to go into my building in Chicago, I can just send you a picture code and you just use that to get into the building.
I don't want to be in Chicago. I want to be in Hawaii with you. That sounds much better. Oh, okay. I am not seeing any other questions, so I think we're going to have to wrap things up here. So with that, want to thank Karen. Thank you for joining us here today. I want to let all the viewers know that both a video and audio recording of this live stream interview will be available on the Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site, available for you to be able to view and download. Maybe you want to listen to the audio recording when you're going to your next customer visit or to the grocery store. And also remind everybody that our next live stream interview will be July 16th. We do these every 2 weeks at 2 o'clock Central Time on Friday. And on the 16th, we will be interviewing Spico Technologies. They manufacture video surveillance equipment as well as commercial audio equipment. So with that, thank you all for watching us today. Hope you all have a great 4th of July weekend. And thank you again, Karen, very much for joining us. I hope you have a great weekend as well.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-bye.